It's almost!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. Right on the show today, Pakistan failed to meet the second deadline of January 25 to hand over the 3 venues for the ICC Champions Trophy. Work continues at a frenzied pace, but will it wrap up all just in time? The tickets for the ICC event are not on sale yet, and PCB is yet to even announce their own squad. Is Pakistan pushing it all to the last minute, hoping for a miracle? Jannik Sinner is all of 23, but he's the best player currently, finishes yet another Grand Slam win in ease. But the story we look at today, what about the brand Sinner? What monies is the youngest Slam champion on the circuit currently making? And what is the brand image Sinner is looking to build? And Coldplay rocked India with performances across 2 cities. The one last night in Ahmedabad was a stunner, but the star who stole the show was not Chris Martin, but the man he dedicated a song to, Indian cricketer Jasprit Bumrah. Netizens have gone gaga. What happened and what does this mean for Bumrah's availability for the Champions Trophy? All of that heading your way, but first a look at the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with Cricket India's star pacer Jasprit Bumrah has won the ICC Men's Test Cricketer of the Year award for 2024. Bumrah is the first Indian pacer to win this. The bowler took 71 wickets in 13 matches through the year. Indian women continue their unbeaten run at the Under-19 World Cup. They beat Bangladesh by 8 wickets in a Super 6 Group 1 match. Bowling first, India's Vaishnavi Sharma picked up 3 wickets to restrict Bangladesh to 64, while batting, Gungari Trisha's 40 helped India chase the target in 7 overs. Football, Manchester United beat Fulham 1-0 in their Premier League clash. After a goalless first half, United pushed forward with their attack. A 78th minute strike from Lisandro Martinez seals the game for Manchester United. This is their second win in a row after beating Rangers in the Europa League earlier last week. Meanwhile, across in Saudi Arabia, Cristiano Ronaldo led Al Nassr to a 3-1 win over Al Fateh. Ronaldo's 87th minute strike took his tally to 20 in 23 matches this season. Al Nassr are currently 3rd in the Saudi Pro League, behind Al Hilal and Al Ittihad. And retired hockey player P.R. Srijesh was conferred with Padma Bhushan, India's 3rd highest civilian honour. Srijesh won 2 Olympic bronze medals, 2 gold medals and 1 bronze at the Asian Games. Recently retired cricketer R. Ashwin, former footballer I. M. Vijayan and para-archer Harvinder Singh have been confirmed with Padma Shri Awards, India's 4th highest civilian honour. It's just 20 days to go for the biggest ICC event to kick off, the Champions Trophy in Pakistan and Dubai. And I can tell you everyone is nervous. Everyone that is associated with the event, particularly the hosts. Pakistan currently has no venues ready, no tickets going up yet for sale. And here's the cake, no squad announced yet. So you can imagine the tension that ought to be in the corridors of the PCB, the Pakistan Cricket Board. Let's start with what I mentioned first, the venues. Last time we spoke about this, Pakistan had missed their first deadline and were working towards completing everything by the January 25 deadline. The new date by which they said they would be able to hand over all the venues exactly how it was meant to be to the ICC. Guess what? January 25th has come and gone, with none of the 3 stadiums complete. Last time I remember giving you the breakup of the costs that the PCB and the ICC were undertaking in refurbishing and redeveloping the venues. That work is still on. In fact, this is how the venues look like at the moment. Well, you can see a lot of rubble there, unfinished moats, the gaping holes that's being hurriedly covered up, railings that are being built and painted, staircases being constructed. There are a lot of requirements that Pakistan need to fulfill as an ICC host in each of these three venues, Lahore, Karachi and Rawalpindi, to make it a state-of-the-art, well, that's the aim, but at least a decent stadium to host ICC matches. A lot of that is far from completion. To think that Pakistan was decided as host country for this event, for the Champions Trophy, 3 years ago. Do you know the actual work on these stadiums only began late last year? There is so much skepticism right now in Pakistan concerning whether this would all get done in time. Lahore in particular, their main venue still has many aspects left to be finished. The balcony in the front of the Players' Pavilion, it's a new addition. Great view of the pitch, but that's nowhere near complete. Railings along staircases that lead to the ground, they look scary currently. There's work left to be done there. A section below that needs floor, tiles to be laid below that particular section. That needs to dry and firm up in time as well. The stadium has seats being relayed. Work on that is underway, considering the capacity has been increased to 35,000 seats to host that many fans. New screens were set to be erected. One is up. Work is being done on the other. Currently, a lot of bricks lie around, and of course, with heavy-duty machinery all just strewn about in those stadiums. Some reports say there is a sudden frenzy of work to get this all done in time, as soon as possible at least, but social media has been brutal. Well, can you really blame the public? The PCB has been too busy firefighting and engaged in battles constantly as they've been gearing up to host this mega event, something that they've not done in nearly 30 years, to really focus on their own tasks that lie at hand, to the extent that they've gone ahead and announced the schedule of the Tri-Series that is set to take place between Pakistan, New Zealand and South Africa, and that is before the Champions Trophy. It in fact kicks off on the 8th of February with a match between hosts Pakistan and New Zealand in, yes, Lahore, the same stadium that we just saw lying in shambles and trying to get ready in time for the mega event. Now imagine that. And a section of Pakistan's fans will be wondering, fab job announcing the dates of a Tri-Series, but what about the tickets and better yet the squad for the ICC Champions Trophy? Those are the other pending matters at hand. The tickets have not been announced yet. Now, for any ICC event, usually, tickets go on sale much in advance because you also look at visitors coming in and they will have to book the tickets before booking their flights, the visas, of course, hotels, and any sporting event means tourism and travel. Here, that department seems to be at sea. So when should the tickets have gone up on sale, ideally? I'll give you a few examples of what's happened in the previous editions of different World Cups. The T20 World Cup took place in USA and West Indies. Tickets of a certain quantity and certain price points went up in the month of February. That's 4 months prior to when the event kicked off. Agreed, USA and West Indies, you anyway got to plan in advance. These travels do take time, but that's how early they went up. Let's look at the ODI World Cup 2023. When did tickets go up for that? August, more than 2 months before the event. 2019 Men's ODI World Cup tickets went on sale in March for a tournament that began end of May. So Pakistan clearly is cutting it close. And wait, there's more. What about their squad? The squad for the tournament, going by the delay in announcements, it feels all too secretive now. Like the opposing teams will almost have to guess the playing 11 they'll be up against. Maybe that's the problem. Key injuries to players clearly put the brakes in PCB's grand plans. The young star, Saeem Ayub, has got injured. It's a big blow. the youngster who has been in stunning form for the hosts. But PCB doesn't want to be hasty.
I'm closely monitoring Saim's condition. His leg cast will come off in 1 or 2 days. It will take time for his complete recovery, and we are not going to risk his future career just for the Champions Trophy. Saim Ayub is a valuable asset for us, and God willing, he will recover soon.
The 22-year-old picked up an ankle injury during Pakistan's series against South Africa, the test match. He had to fly over to United Kingdom for his treatment. That's probably the main reason for the delay. They need to decide who then to come in and pick a squad they are confident will perform in front of their own fans at home. It is indeed a historic moment for Pakistan. The question is, how smooth will the coming 2 weeks really be for all of that to pan out? Even as controversies and drama piled on with Novak Djokovic at the center of it all, I'm talking about the Australian Open, one man, of course, quietly went about his business, Jannik Sinner, and has begun 2025 as well, winning the first slam of the year. Sinner beat Alexander Zverev in straight sets to defend his title. All that without any noise, no drama, just absolutely great tennis. The glitz and glam, of course, came in after the win. The 23-year-old continued his tradition post this win too. The Italian arrived at the Albert Park Lake sporting a Gucci shirt to flaunt his Australian Open title. It had to be obvious because Sinner is the brand ambassador of Gucci, but that isn't the only way Sinner shows his allegiance to the Italian brand. The tennis ace even has a Gucci bag to carry his kit. Not a common sight that for a male tennis player. The Gucci avatar, of course, is just one slice of the brand image that Sinner is beginning to create. Just last year, that same image would have been tarnished had the doping scandal gone south. But here we are months later, and Sinner is redefining what building a brand really looks like. He's consciously or otherwise trying to hone a certain character both on and off the court that brands can see themselves attaching to. The calm yet feisty demeanor, very Roger Federer-esque. No wonder luxury brand Rolex sponsors Sinner, and can I remind you, he's all of just 23. Now, Sinner isn't the only tennis player Rolex sponsors. Some of the notable names in the current generation are Carlos Alcaraz, Dominic Thiem. But the one that gets highlighted, of course, is the Italian superstar. The best part is that Sinner, the brand, has established itself in his early tennis career itself. Because it's hardly been a year since the Italian made his mark in the tennis world. The first major accomplishment was last year's Australian Open title. Since then, the kind of brands who have tied up with Sinner is only set to grow. Prominent brands like Gucci, Head, Intesa Sanpaolo, Lavazza, Nike, Panini, and Rolex. What's interesting is that he isn't just going into one stream. He has associations with luxurious apparel brands, sports brands, watches, banking sectors, and even comic books. The Italian is taking systematic decisions to make him a household name, which is one of the reasons why his earnings from endorsements is more than that of his earnings from winning tournaments, winning tennis matches. While he earned $15 million from endorsements, the prize money amounted to $11.6 million. Sinner was the fifth highest earning tennis player in 2024, a year where the second half was a tough one for the world number one. The doping controversy put a taint over his image. And while many voices like Novak Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz felt that the doping issue might be bad publicity for the sport itself, it clearly didn't affect Sinner or tennis's popularity. Because while the fire was burning around him, the Italian went about playing the tennis he really loves to and minding his own business, even when players like Nick Kyrgios questioned Sinner competing. Not once did the Italian feel the need to retort or respond to the backlash he was already receiving from everywhere. He just let his tennis do all the talking, which shows that Sinner isn't just focused on becoming the best player on court, but a brand too. Last year, he won the season-ending ATP title and the US Open. This year too, he started by winning the Australian Open, and he's just 23. No matter the anger, the unrest, the objections that Sinner has faced and may continue to, he's here to stay and carve out something special. It is this character of calm composure and resilience that really attracts top brands. The perfect example of how top brands really sustain themselves, not by responding to every critique, but by succeeding. And nothing quite succeeds like success. Rock band Coldplay's India tour concluded with a record-breaking concert at Ahmedabad's Narendra Modi Stadium. Over 130,000 people attended the event on India's Republic Day. And while the buzz was around the British band, a local boy stole the show. Cricketer Jasprit Bumrah was present in a sea of fans who had gathered there to watch this concert and was caught in the spotlight, especially after Coldplay's lead singer Chris Martin dedicated a song to Bumrah, leaving him all blushes. Bumrah's presence not only drew reactions online, but has also quashed the reports of him needing that extended bed rest. Didn't look like that at all. A report.
Coldplay's Music of the Spheres World Tour entertained the Indian audience across 5 days. The first leg was in Mumbai and the second in Ahmedabad. But just like a lot of events in the country, cricket took centre stage here. It started with the mention of the little master Sachin Tendulkar, followed by an admiration for the best in the business, Indian pacer Jasprit Bumrah.
So, with respect and love for Jasprit, #1 in the world, we hope that we can send love to Jasprit by showing you this small clip of India destroying England. Watch this.
And while fans went gaga after this unique gesture by Chris Martin in Mumbai, the Ahmedabad crowd witnessed something extra special. The man himself, Jasprit Bumrah, soaking it all in. Chris Martin's admiration for Bumrah saw the Indian pacer attend the concert on the final day. Bumrah walked into the Narendra Modi Stadium like he's done so many times for India in the past. But this time as a mere spectator. He was not the showman on this occasion. The British band was dazzling the Indian audience with their music. But even without taking the field, Bumrah stole the limelight in front of the massive crowd, like when Chris Martin crooned a seemingly impromptu number for Bumrah.
Love cricket. We do not enjoy watching you destroy England with wicket after wicket after wicket.
The crowd erupted and gave the bowler and the band a roaring response, leaving Bumrah speechless and blushing. The same Bumrah who was terrorizing Aussie batters just a month ago, even scaring youngsters like Sam Constas with a death glare, was a pile of mush in front of Martin's serenade. Had the Aussie cricketers known this side of Bumrah, maybe they would have played yellow to try and stunt Test's world #1. Now, while Bumrah's presence made the Coldplay concert memorable, the best part about his attendance was the hope it has given Indian fans about his comeback. Ever since Jasprit Bumrah was ruled out of the final Border Gavaskar Trophy test due to a back spasm, there have been speculations over his availability for the Champions Trophy. Many reports even claimed that the Indian star needed a prolonged bed rest, reports that Bumrah quashed just some days ago. Chris Martin's performance also destroyed the horrors of the 2023 ODI World Cup final loss against Australia, as the internet will have you believe. Coldplay tapping into an Indian icon and India's passion for cricket proves India's dominance in this sport. And sure, the British band may have done this to promote their own album, but it was a crossover that was bound to drive a cricket-obsessed nation crazy.
Time for last serve. Madison Keys celebrated her maiden Grand Slam win in some fashion. After winning the Australian Open women's title, Keys flaunted her trophy and followed it up by opening a champagne bottle along Melbourne's Brighton Beach. An Australian summer she won't quite forget. But that wraps it up here on First Sports. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye. We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbours were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout the biggest Hindu mandir in. We're on our way to Tel Aviv. City measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
we were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote efforts. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.